Today is July 15 and I need to give an update on the 100 emails in 50 days challenge. I stopped posting the challenge when I was around 22 days in. I posted for around 20 days and collected about 44 emails. And for last week, I've honestly been confused about how to talk about this because I didn't want to sound like I just quit, and I didn't know how to share this part because it's still confusing to me. It's still unclear. The more I thought about it, the more I realized that the challenge actually showed me the real problem and something that I didn't even expect would come up. The goal of this challenge, for people who did not watch, was basically to collect emails and see if the page I was running was monetizable by testing a freebie. And I wanted to see basically if people would actually be interested in anything I would build. So I started with a freebie, and the goal here was to see how much traction I would get on the freebie if I push it. Will people actually download the freebie, give feedback, and show interest, so I could eventually build a paid product around what people wanted? And in that way, the challenge did work. I got around 44 emails in 22 days, and around 20 people gave me feedback as well. The point is that there was a lot of proof that people care. So far in the challenge, the only problem I felt by day 20 was that the system behind it was broken. It was something that I didn't expect or think about maybe before going into it. But basically the problem was emails, even the ones I collected, were just sitting there. There was no real funnel. There was no backend system. That turned those people for free download onto someone who actually trusts the brand more, and maybe eventually leading them into some revenue that actually pays off my effort and time. Once I realized that, I was like, what would be the point of collecting 100 emails, let's say even for the people that joined me on day one? They probably would have forgotten about anything I gave them, or they would just be sitting there, right? So the biggest problem was there was no backend funnel that was doing anything with these emails. It was just setting all of them in an email list. And this whole challenge basically turned into collecting those emails, spend hours outreaching, collecting emails. But basically I realized that I'm just chasing a number. The bottleneck was what happens when someone joins and gives me their email and trusts me with the freebie. I take the feedback, and then what? And another thing I realized I was doing wrong was the method of getting those emails. Near the end, I had to spend time every day manually doing outreach for hours to get one sign up. And because my summer school started in the start of July, and then I had to choose between studying properly and just outreaching, or outreaching and posting content on the page, sacrificing the study. It was like I couldn't balance them all three together. Basically, like, it was not the kind of system I wanted to build that needed me to outreach people for something free for hours every day. I mean, sure, in the start it makes sense, but now that I had clear signal of shown interest by people that there is a clear demand and they would be willing to take action if I build something. Point is, when I had all this signal, I had 40 plus emails without any backend just sitting there. Why would I brute force outreach? So I decided to pause the challenge. And pausing the challenge did not mean that I don't care about getting those 100 emails and they're not useful, but because I think the goal here needs to change a little, and my process of getting it needs to change. Instead of just chasing this 100 emails number just to hit it, I need to use these 44 emails and the feedback I already collected and got from people to build the next version, the version of a product that will be paid, and design a path from the freebie to the actual paid offer and actual revenue into my bank, because otherwise I think it would be a waste of time and effort. And so for now I will keep my first priority as school, and it's just a week or two left for my summer school, so will end fast. And meanwhile I will use the feedback I've collected to see what people liked about the product, see what they didn't like, see what they would be willing to pay for it from the parents and stuff, and just figure out what I could actually build for the paid product. If I were to fully be honest with you without hiding anything, I don't know really exactly what the final version will look like what am I gonna build, and exactly what I'm gonna do, the next steps. And I don't want to pretend that I have everything figured out. I did end up maybe at a confused place right now, but what it did for me is it showed me that people are actually interested. It also showed me that my planning of the whole thing was weak, and gave me a clear problem to solve and worry about. So I'm gonna do exactly that. And if you guys want to see how I go from the product feedback to building an offer and product and all that stuff, and anything about the funnel, emails, and anything about the backend system I'm gonna build now, I would for sure be fine with documenting it all, like in the segments of it, if I get the chance to. And if you guys want to, just let me know in the comments. And this is part of the journey. This is part of building, even when you're confused and even when things are messy. But I think it's important to document this part too, because sometimes the smart move is just not keep pushing and keep chasing the same goal blindly. Even for you, the smart move might be, if you're having problems, if you're having things that you're confused about, to stop and look at the numbers and what they're telling you, and fix the thing that is actually broken. And pivoting and re-strategizing is part of the game, is part of the journey. There's nothing wrong with that. There's no losing. You're actually learning by failing in something. You're figuring out stuff, and that's a really important part for us to actually achieve our goals. So this is where I am at right now. The 100 emails in 50 days challenge is paused at around 44 emails in 22 days. I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep this challenge the same or I'm gonna change something. If you guys have any ideas, I would love to know in the comments. And right now the focus is rebuilding the funnel, turning the feedback into the paid product, and making GrowthAI Media, the page, into something I can monetize properly before my summer break ends. And thank you for following, everyone who has been following the challenge. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next update.